I'm going to show you how you can transform your basic studio portrait like this into something cinematic like this in just few minutes. Here's the original image. The lighting is good, the subject is sharp, the composition looks good, everything is okay. But why does this image still feel flat? Now watch this. Take a look at this other image. The same subject, the same lighting, same composition, but this one is looking a whole lot better than this one right here. So I'm going to be showing you the step-by-step process of how I did this and also how you can do it as well for your own studio portrait. Let's jump right into it. So inside of Photoshop, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate my background layer by pressing Command J. So after that, I'm just going to fill this part right here with the background. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select my selection brush tool and just paint on this part. Click on Generative Fill and just click on Generate. Alright, so we have three options you can see. The first option, the second option, and the third option. So I think the third option works for me. See, the before and the after. But if it's affecting the dress, you can just select this layer mask, pick your normal brush tool, and just mask it out with a black brush and just paint it out from where you don't want it to affect, like so. So I'm going to switch back to a white brush and add this part to the image like so. Alright, let this work for me. So before and after. So that is first step. And next I'm going to do, I'm just going to crop this image and extend or expand the frame and just change the composition to make it look even more better. So I'm going to pick on my crop tool, change my ratio to 4:5 and just expand the frame and just place her on one side of the frame like the rule of third. And from here I'm just going to straighten it. So I think like this should work for me. Let's straighten it a little bit. Alright, so I think like this should work for me. And I'm going to click on Generative Expand again. If you can't find your Generative for your contextual taskbar, click on your windows and you're going to see contextual taskbar right here. So just click on it and it's going to bring it for you. But if you don't have the Generative Expand, you can use the content away, whatever works for you. But I'm going to be using Generative Expand and let me just cancel and tell you why. If I zoom in, you can see this sleeve right here. If I just expand the frame or extend the frame, the Generative Fill will automatically detect that there's supposed to be a flower or leaf here. So it will automatically generate that for us. But I don't think you can do that with content away. So I'm going to pick my crop tool, expand the frame, and just make sure she is at one side of the frame because I want that rule of third composition. So I think like this works for me and just straighten it a bit and click on Generative Expand and just click on Generate. Alright, as you can see, it has been generated for us. You can see we have three options. This is the first option, the second option, and the third option. So I'm going to be going for this first option because I think it was better for me. See the before and the after. If you don't like anyone, you can click on Generate again until you get what you want. But I like this one. I feel like this is going to work for me. Now next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a stamp visible layer by pressing Command Option Shift E or Control Shift Alternate E if you're using a Windows. After creating a stamp visible layer, this step right here is optional. You can choose to do it or not, depends on you. But I just want to add overlay to the texture background and just make it look even more better. So to do that, I'm just going to subtract the subject from the background. I'll pick my quick selection brush tool right here and click on select subject. After selecting the subject, I'm just going to invert the selection. I'm going to right click on select inverse and just press Command J to cut out the subject from the background. So I rename this layer above without the subject background and rename this one below subject. With my subject layer selected, I'm going to hold Command or Control, click on the thumbnail of my background layer to bring back the selection. Right click again and click on select inverse and just add a layer mask to the subject layer. Select my background layer and drag it below my subject layer. Now I'm just going to look for the overlay I want to put on the background. So I'm going to come to my finder. So this is the overlay I'm going to be using. And if you want the resources I'm going to be using, check the description below of this video. You're going to see a link where you can download this overlay and also where you can get the prompt I'm going to be using to generate that fog effect. The only thing I want you to do for me is to like this video and also share this video with your friend or a photographer who you think might learn something from this video, because definitely you're going to learn something new from this video. So once I get the overlay I want to use, I'm just going to drag and drop it inside of Photoshop below the subject layer. Just to resize it. I think like this should work for me. Alright, I'm going to click on OK. Then I'm going to change the blend mode from normal to overlay or soft light. I think overlay is more dramatic, so I'm going to change it to soft light. I don't want it to be too dramatic. Now if I zoom, you can see the edges are looking a bit too sharp. So to blend it, I'm just going to add the layer marks to this overlay. Pick my gradient tool, make sure the foreground color is set to black. Click here, click on basic, change from foreground to transparent, and just move this arrow up like this to just blend it like so. Now you can choose to blur this overlay if you feel it's too much, or you can reduce the opacity, depends on what you want to do, but I'm just going to blur it. So I take the opacity to 100, come to filter, click on blur, click on Gaussian blur, and just blur it a little bit until I feel it's okay. Alright, I think like this should work for me. Let me blur it a bit by 30. 30 should work. I'm going to click on OK. Alright. Now after adding the overlay to your image, now it's time to add that fog effect to the floor. And I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So inside of Photoshop, just save your image as JPEG. So I'm going to come to File, click on Export, click on Save for Web. And I'm just going to save this image and save it to my document so I can easily access it. Alright, and after saving this image as a JPEG, I'm going to come to this website, firefly.adobe.com, click enter, and from here, make sure image is selected and not video. So select image and just click on generate. The first thing you want to do is to add your image you save as JPEG to this reference. So I'm going to come to my Finder, come to my document. So this is the image right here. I'm just going to drag and drop it into this place right here to upload it as a reference. So once that's finished uploading, you can see right here we have reference image. You can also click on this place right here, click on your device and look for the pictures and upload it as a reference as well if you don't want to drag and drop it. So that's another way to upload to this website. Now after uploading, we want the highest resolution possible. So what we are going to do, we are going to come to this resolution and just change from 1K to 4K. Now the difference is if you use 1K, you are going to be consuming 20 credits from your generative credits, while if you use 4K, you are going to be consuming 60 credits. So that's one thing you should take note of if you want to use 4K, be ready to spend or use more credits. Alright, now remember we crop this image inside of Photoshop 4x5. So what we are going to do for this aspect ratio right here, we are just going to click on it and change it to 4x5 like so. Alright, after doing that, I'm just going to paste the prompt to get that foggy or that smoky effect. I'm going to press Command V to paste the prompt. So I'm just going to read it out. At the base of the scene, a layered low-lying fog spread across the floor, enhancing the softness and giving the image a cloud-like heavenly atmosphere. Then I added this. I said keep the pose and the position of the subject exactly the way it is. Now this is important. Sometimes if you generate, it might actually change the perspective or change the pose of your subject. But we don't want to do that. We still want to keep the pose and position of the subject exactly the way it is. So it's going to be easy for us to mask out inside of Photoshop. Now after I do that, I'm going to click on generate right here. Now for this prompt, I'm going to be leaving it in the description below of this video so you can just copy it and try it for your image and see the result you get. And by the way, if you get an amazing result, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. This is the name. I'm happy to see your work. Alright, it has finished loading. You can see it just added that fog at the bottom. This is really good. Now all you have to do from here is to click on this download right here and just download this file to your laptop or your desktop, whatever you use to edit. So once you download it, you're going to get something like this on your download. So this is our generated AI image. So all we have to do from here is to come to Photoshop. Once you come to Photoshop, just drag and drop this AI generated image inside of Photoshop like this. Click OK. Now take it above the subject layer like this. Now if I zoom in, you can see it has changed the face of the subject. So this is our original subject. You can see everything looks realistic, and this is our AI generated image. It looks similar, but this is no longer the person on the image. So to fix this, all I have to do is to add a layer mask to this Firefly image. I'm going to invert this layer mask by pressing Command I or Control I to invert. Once I invert it, I'll hide that effect. Now I want to reveal that fog effect only on the floor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick my normal brush tool. Once I pick my normal brush tool, I'm going to increase the size of the brush. Make sure I'm using a soft round brush. Opacity set to 100, flow set to 100, and I'm just going to paint with a white brush. So change this foreground to white and just paint to bring that effect only on the floor, just like that. Alright, so just paint. So like this, it's not affecting the face, it's just affecting only the floor. Alright, so I think like this should work for us. So if I zoom in, you can see this is our original image, our original subject, and everything still look good. The textures, everything is there, but now we have the fog on the floor like this. Alright, so you see our before and after, our before and after. So let me just group everything so you can see where we started from and where we are right now. This is where we started from originally, and after, our before and after. Wow, this is looking really, really good. So you can see I was able to instantly transform the studio portrait from this to this using just one AI trick. So you can try this out for your next photo shoot and let me know what you think. And also, if you want to learn how to use Nano Banana to transform or change the background of your image from start to finish, I explained in details in this video right here. So you can check it out. I'll see you guys in my next one. Stay creative.